Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about encouraging South Korea-Japan cooperation, and here's as to why. Yes, okay. Japan did plenty of horrible things to Korea between 1910 and 1945, and then many years before that as well with the Imjin Wars. But as of right now, many Japanese tourists are visiting South Koreans, helping with South Korea's economy. 40 Japan's tourism to South Korea was up 40% from 2015. That has a huge increase, and that helps South Korea's economy. Okay, and even though the comfort women have not gotten the apologies that I think are necessary from the Japanese government, they have gotten them from several Japanese tourists. I mean, several Japanese tourists. Also, right now, and Japan and South Korea have said that any disputes they have, it's not going to affect how they handle North Korea, and that is the way it needs to be, because Japan's a democratic society, and years ago, the mayor of Hiroshima, Japan, had spoke out against Japanese prejudice against Zainichi Koreans in Japan, and he was allowed to speak freely. He didn't have any fear of persecutions because of it. And plenty of Koreans currently living in Japan want Japan and South Korea to cooperate. And they're cooperating against North Korea, and the recent intelligence sharing that was signed, it needed to happen. Okay, Japan does not want a communist-controlled or Chinese-influenced Korea right on their front doorstep. Okay, they don't want that to happen because their sovereignty is threatened whenever South Korea's sovereignty is threatened. Now, Japanese citizens have been abducted by North Korea, and so have South Korean citizens. And anytime they get in captivity together, they depend on each other to survive. And they have a common enemy, and that common enemy is the North Korean government, the North Korean military. And also, in 1997, when the IMF bailed out South Korea, and I thought they should have, and I thought it was a good move by Kim Dae-jung to have that happen. Well, the U.S. was the major contributor, but Japan was the second largest contributor. Japan was the second largest contributor in that area. And that shows that Japan wants South Korea to thrive. And also in 1965, Japan gave South Korea a lot of low-interest loans to help develop their economy. And it worked, and South Korea's economy took off. So cooperation with Japan, I think, is highly necessary. And Japan has a democratic system of government right now. They have freedom of speech. They have freedom of religion. I've been to Japan, and I've seen several Christian churches. I've also seen Buddhist temples, and I've seen Shinto shrines. And a lot of Japanese people think it's cool. Thought it was cool that I taught English in South Korea. So the cooperation is going to go a long way. Japan's not going to try to conquer South Korea or anything of that nature, because the United States would never allow that to happen, first of all. And I think Japan's remorseful for what they did in World War II. But also, the United States would not let that happen, because Japan is a huge export market for the United States. The United States buys Japanese products left and right, as well as South Korean products. So if Japan ever did something like that, the United States would put an economic boycott on them, or cut back on the products that they import. And Japan does not want to risk that. And Japan knows the United States is not going to take them over and occupy them, the same as the United States wouldn't take over and occupy South Korea. They have the utmost sovereignty dealing with, Japan and South Korea has the most sovereignty dealing with the United States, versus if they were dealing with China on an equal capacity. I'm talking about economically, military, and politically. China would try to threaten their sovereignty. United States would not. So, anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.